This looks a little blurry, but it will do. Okay, so hi, it's me, Teresa. How are you doing this evening? Or if it's daytime where you are, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope everyone's well today and um, getting things ready for whatever you got to get them ready for. I would say we're probably looking at colder weather, so maybe it's time to get out your fall jackets and possibly some winter jackets and some gloves and scarves and things like that, and get ready for a little bit of colder weather for a while. And I'm going to enjoy every little bit of this sunshine and cooler weather. I'm planning on getting out a lot more, and I actually have been getting out a lot more. And especially now that I've got my chair, um, I'm able to walk around my apartment and I'm able to walk down to my garbage chute. And the other day, I actually got really eager and I went down and took my recycling down without my cane, walker, or my wheelchair. And I did it, but I had a really hard time. Let's just say this, by the time I got back upstairs here, I was ready to drop. So, yeah, I'm going to try to do little walks with my walker outside or just around our yards. We have a walkway from the front all the way to the backyards, and we have a courtyard out there with patio tables and chairs and benches and stuff for us to sit on. And we've got our little garden and our memory garden for the residents in here who have passed away. It's it's our tribute to those people, to our friends who passed. And over the last few years, there's been quite a few of them, so unfortunately. But we're all aging in this building, so you know these things are are going to happen. Excuse me, I'm just putting out my dirty smoke. So what I want to talk about, what do I, what I want to talk about today is, I guess, maybe boundaries. It's a good one to start with because I think a lot of us don't really know how to set boundaries, and I've discovered over the years through my recovery and through my counseling that it is very important to set boundaries with everyone in your life. And that's for it's to keep your life drama free, and it's to keep your person safe so that nobody is allowed to get in and try to um, cross the line with you, whether it's something that they say or whether it's something that they do towards you that's negative. Um, you've got to draw a line. You've got to set a boundary with people, friends and family, to keep yourself grounded and well rounded and just on a level where you can um, be at peace with that and know that you've done the right thing by setting those boundaries with people because you have to. If you don't set boundaries with people, they'll walk all over you. If they think that they can take advantage, they will. And if you don't say anything and you don't speak up about it, you're going to get railroaded, for lack of a better term. That's the best way I can say it. And it's unfortunate that you have to set it with people that you love and people that you're close to. But sometimes their drama can affect your life, and you don't want the negativity affecting your life, especially if you're trying to go forward in a positive way with the new skills and tools that you've developed over the years in your recovery, my recovery. I'm not talking about yours. I'm just saying well, if there's anyone watching this who is in recovery, this can be something that you might be able to utilize as well. I think regardless of whether you're in recovery or whether you're just, you know, going along in your life, you've got to set rules around yourself and what you're willing to put up with and what you're not willing to put up with. And I have been very honest since I got sober. I mean, what's the sense of getting sober if you're not going to be honest with yourself and with everyone around you? And I think sometimes certain people want you to stay the pushover that you used to be. The person that tolerated everything, the person that put up with everything, the person that wouldn't say no. You said yes to everything because you're a people pleaser. I've been a people pleaser all my life. I've only ever wanted to make people happy and have people like me and love me. And but I've realized that that's not the way that you go about it. If you want to be respected, you have to have boundaries. Because if people figure they can come in and cross your boundaries, they're not going to have respect for you because they see that you've got no respect for yourself. And I've known that, like from experience, I know that's how it's happened to me too, many, many times. I can't even name all the times and situations that have happened to me over the years. And when I was in my impaired world, I let a lot of things roll that I would never let happen now. Never, never, never. I look back on that time in my life and I can't believe some of the stupid things that I let happen. Some of the stupid people that I allowed around me and the foolishness and the drama that they brought to my life and the lives of other people around me that I cared about. So I got sober and I decided that I was going to take this whole thing very seriously. And that started with my first year. It was really, really difficult. And I had a really rough time by the end of that first year. I'm not going to go into the details, but let's just put it this way. It just about killed me. And that had to do with boundaries. Right at that point, I realized, like, I've let my boundaries be crossed here, and look what almost happened to my life. So by 2020, and you know what happened in 2020, um, it was easier to set boundaries because everybody was locked down. No one was allowed to see each other. Remember, we had a rule around how many people we could allow into our little circle, and there was a few situations where I wasn't allowed into a circle with certain people because I didn't meet their needs. And what that was, excuse me, at the time was I hadn't yet had my second vaccine. So I was still not allowed to go anywhere near anyone. I couldn't even go to anyone's house. Maybe if I wanted to stand outside 6 feet apart from them, and I thought, forget it. If I don't want to see anybody like that. I haven't put my flipper in tonight, so you're just gonna have to kind of bear with me with the missing tooth showing every now and then. Sorry about that. I don't want to turn anybody off, but it is what it is, and I don't always like to wear it when I'm just here at home. So, but anyway, yeah. So we went through all that, the lockdowns and the mandates and all the COVID stuff, and families were fighting with each other, and friends were fighting with each other, and I lost family and friends around all that because I had a different point of view than a lot of my friends had, and a lot of friends walked out of my life. Some came back, and I'm glad that they did. Um, but I'll never forget that. I'll never forget how, you know, I was turned away. I was rejected again. And that was a huge part of my recovery was the rejection. The years the years and years that I felt rejected, and why I ended up picking up the bottle in the first place was because of rejection. So it was like being traumatized all over again. You know, you're not allowed to come near us. We don't want you around. Um, you didn't do what they said, so you're out. You're over here. You're going to be ostracized from the rest of the family and some of these friends. And okay, I mean, there was nothing I could do about it. I just had to grin and bear it and keep living my own life and keep going through my own recovery. And I'm really proud of myself that I didn't slip during that recovery period. Not while we were on lockdown. I slipped back in 2023, and I have already made a video about that back in 2023 when I finally got back online and was doing my videos again for Club Wellness Niagara. I confessed to my relapse. And I also explained how I got back on the bus and I kept riding. Bus, horse, whatever analogy you want to use. I got back on. I got back up and I carried on. I didn't let it take me down again. I was stronger that time. And I've been strong ever since then. And I'm really proud of myself for that. Now, if other people don't want to be proud of me, that's fine too. You don't have to be proud of my accomplishments, but I am. And you can still look down your nose at me if you want to. That's up to you. That's your prerogative. You can do whatever you want. You can talk behind my back. You can call me a crazy person. You can call me a conspiracy theorist because I believe different things than you do. We'll see who's right at the end. So, um, I guess what I'm trying to say, all in all, is you can't please everybody. You just can't. People are going to be angry at you for one thing or another. They're going to reject you for one thing or another. If you're the kind of person that, like me, you're very sensitive to things, it really hurts you. And it's really, is like a punch in the gut. But when you look at it from another perspective, which I'm doing now, I'm realizing that those people that rejected me for all the time that they rejected me, and then even rejected me after I got sober, it had nothing to do with the booze. It wasn't about the drinking. It wasn't about getting drunk. It wasn't about that at all. That was my take on it. I did that for me. I figured they'd be happy for me that I got sober. But clearly, they weren't very happy. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm okay with them not accepting me. They didn't accept me before I got messed up. They didn't accept me when I was messed up. And they still don't accept me now that I'm sober and I'm in recovery. And I'm not an alcoholic anymore. I'm just me. And you know what? I'm very proud of me. And I'm glad that I'm me. Because I like who I am. I'm a good person. I'm kind. I'm loving. And now I love myself. For the first time in my life, I can honestly say I love Teresa. And it's a great feeling. So I don't expect anyone else to love me. I love me. And God loves me. And He was the reason I got sober. So God and I make a great team. And as long as I have His love and acceptance, I don't need anyone else's. So that's part of my story, and I'll be back again. Thank you for listening. Peace and a little bit of happiness.